What's going on, people? It's the Xbot 448, and today I want to tell you guys, this week has been crazy when it's come to news in the gaming industry. And believe it or not, even though the news wasn't generally about like Microsoft, this news is absolutely huge for X1 gamers and Microsoft. And what I'm basically talking about is I'm talking about the Neo, you know, the new PS4 that is set to be unveiled at E3 by Sony. And I'm not sure if this is a defense move by Sony because they see where Microsoft is going for the future of games, and they want to kind of get in there and get the most out of the gaming community before all this happens. But inadvertently, I believe Sony has opened the door for Microsoft to accelerate their future of games. Now, when I talk about the future of games in Microsoft, you might ask yourself, well, what am I exactly talking about? Now, I know I've made a couple videos about the Universal Windows platform and how that's huge, which it is. I mean, scalable games. Then you had Phil Spencer talk about an upgradable system, which I also believe is the future of console gaming. And I feel that Microsoft will keep the price points low, and I have a feeling it'll be like largely adopted just because people people as a whole, they want to have the chance to get the best hardware. And if you can go in and upgrade a piece of your hardware with a good price point and kind of tout that you have the strongest out of that like ecosystem, it's going to be adopted. All right, I know there's people out there that are worried about, you know, console gaming mirroring PC gaming and stuff like that. I don't think you have to worry about it. I think the price point is going to be there. But Sony has opened the door for Microsoft to kind of like jump right in and show everybody exactly what the future is with Microsoft gaming. And I believe Sony has shot themselves in the foot. Okay? Now, if they come out with a more powerful PS4, which they're going to do, all right, and I hope this is largely adopted. I hope Sony fanboys out, you know, go out there and they buy it in truckloads, all right, because then Microsoft, I believe Microsoft has a window from this E3 till the end of 2017 to unveil and release the upgradable console. Now, with doing that, Sony, with what they're doing with the more powerful console and having like games being made with two different modes, you know, that PS4 mode and then what they call the Neo mode, which takes advantage of the more power coming from the hardware, it wouldn't be a tough sell for Microsoft to bring out an upgradable console that is stronger, is more powerful, but with the Universal Windows platform, the new games will be able to scale down to the X1. Alright, you got to remember, Microsoft is focused on the platform. Do they want to sell hardware? Yes. But when it comes to this platform goes across PC, mobile, and console. So, in terms of having that base to sell games to, that base is going to be huge when it comes to the UWP. Alright? Now, I know there's been, you know, hiccups with the Windows 10 games, the Quantum Break, the Tomb Raider, and stuff like that. I know PC gamers are kind of, they're mad about the lack of features and stuff, and I believe that Microsoft is working on making the Windows 10 gaming platform secure. Alright, so you didn't have some things at launch, and they are working on putting them in there, like the overlays and stuff like that, but I believe their main intention is to help the developers sleep better at night. You know, knowing that, you know, those guys at Pirate Bay and, you know, other people aren't trying to steal their games and sell them off on the internet as well. So I think Microsoft is trying to do a good job, you know, solidifying like the confidence of the developers there. But that's kind of going off topic here. Sony is kind of pushing for Microsoft to bring forward that upgradable console, and once that happens, Sony doesn't have a platform where the games can scale. Now, even the developer said that, you know, coding for these two modes for the two PS4s, it's a pain in the ass. All right, they don't like it, but they're gonna do it because of the consumer base that is on PlayStation right now, with how many units that were sold. You know, they do want to sell their games, which is understandable. But when it comes to Microsoft and having an upgradable system with a scalable platform, that means that games can scale up or down with minimal code from the developers. So Sony is putting themselves in the same space as Microsoft, but Microsoft has been working on this longer and has a better idea of where they're going with it. And so you get more of an ease of development, you know, from developers making games when it comes to the Microsoft platform. With the scalability, you don't have to put as much code to have your games scale up and down according to the hardware the game is being played on. Now, like it or not, guys, this is the future, and I think Microsoft has it in the bag. Microsoft has the ability to see things before they happen. Sometimes they're not right. Like when it comes to the Windows 8, they thought, you know, the whole touchscreen thing would be an incredible phenomenon that would stretch into like PCs as well. Didn't do that as much, so they went back and they revised it. Microsoft right now is also listening to the fan base. You have Phil Spencer, a gamer, the head of the gaming division, listening to other gamers and trying to help improve things for us. This is absolutely huge. All right, now they come out with an upgradable console. They don't have to have an absolutely huge launch lineup when it comes to this. All right, because of the scaling, they can have a few titles, right? A few really cool titles and kind of spark your interest. But even if you decide you're not going to be an early adopter, you're probably still going to buy those games, because those games will still be able to be played on the X1 that you already own. I could see this future right here, and I'm excited for it. Like I want that upgradable console, and I thought I was going to have to wait a couple years for it, but thanks to Sony, I might not have to. This might accelerate things to a point where it comes out even sooner, and we get to see what this is all about even sooner than expected. This is a crazy time to be a gamer. It seems like we were in kind of a transition phase when it comes to the X1 and the PS4, but now things are coming around and there seems to be direction again in console gaming. And there's just one more thing I want to talk about when it comes to the upgradable console and the UWP. Now, like I said, you know, you don't need a crazy launch lineup. And for people who aren't early adopters, the launch titles that will be available for the upgradable system will still be able to be played on the X1. But not only that, your entire library of X1 games from day one will be able to be played on the new console. And then, with it being under the UWP, those games can actually scale up to match the hardware of the new system. So it's like getting a fresh look at a game. It's like getting you know, more graphics, better frame rates and stuff like that on games that you already own. Okay? And then the thing about it is, when it comes to Sony and Microsoft comes out with that system, you don't have to think about buying another system within that 5 to 7 year gap. Every 2-3 years or so, there's another upgrade that comes out. If you want it, you can have it. If not, you don't have to buy it. But like I said, Microsoft's focusing on the platform, and you can upgrade your console over time. It doesn't mean that there has to be a new console. I'll take the later date, 7 years from then. Doesn't mean that at all. now you have a console that you can switch parts out, like modular. You could take sections out, put sections in. They'll probably have like cosmetic customizations as well. Like you could get different like looking modules to plug in, and you could really make it your own console. And for that lower price point than owning a PC gaming rig. This is a win-win for me. I cannot wait to see what happens with the UWP and the chance of an upgradable console. I am completely excited for the future as a gamer. But as usual, guys, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Hit up that comment section. I know I talked a lot. I know this is a fairly long video, but to me, it's an important video. It's important to know where these companies are going for the future of games. And I am truly excited to be a part of Microsoft's gaming community. You know, I've been in here for a while, since the original X, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future. This looks like a gaming revolution to me. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. And at the end of this video, you know, to honor the 360 and everything that gaming, here is a little tribute to the 360 and all the years that I have had fun with that console. But as for now, this is the Xbot 448, and I am definitely signing off.